Hi everyone, welcome to Hobby Hangout.
I am back,
Yes,
kinda.
welcome back, John.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Well, at the minute I'm hanging half off the screen. Shift over.
I can't shift over anymore. You just have to.
I need
Make
more.
do.
There needs to be more me on this screen.
You are the internet sensation we all need.
I've been working on some secret projects.
Okay, how's secret?
So secret that even saying to you and everyone watching that it's secret is too much.
I see. So you can't tell us anything about it.
No.
You can't tell us like what it smells like.
It smells like plastic.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Uh,
We got it, Ben. Detective's on the way.
does Ben work this week though?
What do you mean does Ben work this
Do
week?
we have a video stream on this?
Let's see.
Yes!
I think he does work. No. How are you, Ben? What have you been up to?
Can't hear Ben. I don't hear Ben. I don't hear Ben.
Guess what, Ben? We don't hear you.
You don't hear me? That's like...
So,
There we go. We hope.
you've been obsessing about Game of Thrones, yeah?
Yeah, get obsessing. Oh, God. Yeah. Been obsessing about Endgame, Marvel, Endgame, Marvel, Endgame, Endgame, Marvel, Endgame, Marvel, Marvel.
I
Spoilers.
see.
Yeah.
So, Justin's waited until this evening to go see it, and we've been like giving him fake and real spoilers.
So he doesn't know which ones are the real ones.
Yeah.
Great. Poor guy.
It's been great because yeah, I can't even say them because then I don't want to like spoil it for everyone else.
No.
But John, while you've been away, you've been working on something less secret.
Yes, I have a new obsession.
Uh-huh.
Two new
What is
obsessions.
that?
My first obsession is radio control.
Right.
I'm stopping work on radio control tanks for now because they are horrendously expensive when you start to get working on one. The last one cost me 700 quid all in all.
Wow.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the price of the tank. But I then found a radio control Jeep, a little World War II Jeep,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh, that's so cute, I'm going to paint it like the one we have at home. And here it is.
Here we have it.
So this is a 1/10 scale radio control Jeep. I believe it's 1/10. Some people say it's 12th. I beg to differ. But it got a full repaint. I've got a lot of mechanical work done to it as well under the hood and stuff. So we don't need to hear about that so much. But the markings are from one of our site members called Wilco. Because he'd sent us through a few transfers before. He's been experimenting making transfer sheets and stuff for his work.
Uh-huh.
And he says, if there's anything you ever want, let me know. And I thought this was a prime opportunity to get in touch with him.
I see.
And talk about it. So
Where's the jerry can?
it's on the back.
Ah,
It's there.
okay.
It also
so
looks to be an embarrassed Jeep as
it's
well.
right there.
Yeah, Lance did,
What?
did blush marks on it for some reason.
It's just so happy to be on screen.
It's just so happy to be an internet famous Jeep now.
That's it. But you've got a teaser as well of what's going on in the background.
Yeah, there's a little bit of 40k hanging around in the background there.
What's going on here? You've got some tie.
I have some time.
Should we talk about the tie here?
Yeah. Can you not with the blush marks?
What? I think it looks adorable.
So yeah, 2 years ago, Laura, my significant other, turned around and said, "What would you like for Christmas?" I said, "I don't know, something 40k," and she went and bought me the start collecting toy. And 2 years later, I've decided to start painting it because she turned around to me a couple of weeks ago and was like, "I am not touching anything you've bought me. I'm not building any of my models until you finish your toy." And I was like, "Ah, crap! I have to start working on them." So that's the test scheme I have so far. What are you doing now?
Nothing. I'm just.
What?
Now he's angry.
It looks like a fish man when you do that, rather than a battle suit.
I mean, I guess we could make it into fish man. It's just like. Here we go.
It's like everything Studio Ghibli ever wanted.
There
That's
we
like
go.
a goldfish that has a giant underbite.
That's it. Beautiful. Sorry,
No,
John.
I know I'm not drilling out the gun barrels just to annoy everybody. People keep telling me to do it, and I'm like, nah.
That's a really cool scheme for the tower, though, dude.
It
I
is
think
nice
that's
though.
awesome.
It's surprising because that's one straight out of the codex.
Very cool.
I was
Wow.
looking through all the little examples on one of the pages, and I was like, oh, that sort of bluey, turquoisey, and deserty sand looks really good together. So screw it, we'll go for it. It'll take a while, but
I can't help but look like this. Just looks like the eye. And it looks so cute.
you're just looking at it thinking those are all googly eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably put
I'm
googly eyes.
I'm
on.
kind of sad that there are no googly eyes on this, John. To be honest. But
Why don't you Photoshop one on?
later.
Mm.
What do you think I've been doing in my spare time here?
I would
Well, my lunch break, I'd just Google
Mm.
googly eye everything.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, back to the main show. So, as with Hobby Hangout, we look through your hobbies. Through the projects on OnTableTop.com, we find very interesting projects in the last couple of weeks, but we've been keeping them under wraps because of the spring cleaning competitions that's currently going on. If you want to know more about the spring cleaning, if you search on the website spring cleaning, I think you should be able to find a lot more. We should have a link in it a little bit later. But I wanted to first have a look at this Final Frontier by Horatian Noseblower. And if I go down to the very end, we can see kind of what he's been working on. It's a little bit of spring cleaning, but it's also a little bit of just general showing off, I guess. But he has some really cool things of what he's talking about, like upping the base standards. So if we have a look here, you can kind of see the previews here. So small base, like I think this is the original one with a bit of sand. And you can see he's moved up to the bevel base, a little bit bigger base, and then we have this whole like
A plinth.
yeah,
As Lloyd
kind
would
of like
call it,
a
a plinth.
plinth kind of thing. So he's got 4 of these models, and he's just been updating them over the years, I think. So as standard, like pretty good tabletop version there. And this was the very first model he began with for his D&D campaigns. Then moving on, we see a little bit of a difference. It does like help a little bit, but you really see it come to shine on this here. I think that's very impressive looking. If I bring that into Photoshop, we'll get an actual better look at the base here.
I love when basing material like plays over the lip of the base a bit.
Yeah,
Adds a bit more cinematic effect to it.
for sure. Yeah. And
I
it's-
quite like. I was going to say I quite like the larger basing styles, and I do like the ones where you got the sort of rounded lip to them. But the ones that I've seen recently that I just cannot get behind are the ones for Wild West Exodus that look like the base of a chess piece.
They do look a bit odd.
It's
I
it's
think.
really weird.
Um,
I would totally just put all of them on flatter bases.
I kind of like this mini plinth kind of thing because, and as you said, John, just the base coming over the lip of the base
Yep.
as well. Terrain coming over the lip of it.
It turns it into more of a display piece, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, and if we go back to the browser, we can actually see here, like there is quite a significant difference, even though it's just the same model. It's very much the same, or a very different atmosphere using just changing up the base.
Yep.
Because even the paint schemes are quite similar as well.
Because she goes from looking like she's walking down a little dirt path to looking like she's just conquered a dragon.
Yeah,
You know, that's the kind of
Definitely.
cinematic feel I get off of them.
it's very, very cool. And then if we move up, we see here like he's talking about how to keep bases within certain themes. So this was Malifaux posse to fit better into the fluff of the game. So just adding a little bit of like detail into the base and stuff.
Cute. Little tiny mechanical spiders there are cute. That
Right,
dude not so
yeah.
much.
I was going to say, how do you feel about this? But
Yeah, not so cute.
see, this reminds me a little bit of Wild West Exodus without that kind of like ridged lip kind of stuff. But then again, we have like this stuff here, which I was saying earlier is like it's almost like a little bit of a show-off kind of thing, because he's been like sculpting these magnificent-looking terrain pieces, and apparently these are just pieces that are just lying around the house gathering dust. I'm just thinking, like, what's going on here? Like, why? This should definitely be used. You should be painting these up and using them because they look amazing.
That would make an incredible like mini vignette or diorama for a painting competition.
Yeah.
A bunch of guardsmen on it looking like they've just had too much.
Same with this one here as well. If I bring it into Photoshop, these images are really big and I love it. But yeah, like this here looks like the top of an outpost, like a Skaven kind of outpost or something for orcs. Amazing looking piece as well, and you can see that there's a lot of attention to detail just going into the planks and making it broken down. I love it. Looks like it kind of looks like a sandpit and battle royale within a sandpit.
It's a very twisted version of the kids' play pit,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, with all these swords.
The freaking gallows on the top.
Definitely, it's a very interesting little project, and it was. I was hoping there'd be a few more wee things to like show off this week. I thought there'd be a wee bit more in it, but yeah, amazing project in this here, and really interesting to see what other people have made over the years and to see where they are now. Because if you've made this a couple of years ago, I'd love to see what you're capable of now, and I'd love to see it painted as well. What do you think, Ben?
I think it's really cool. From what he was saying about that, the one that looks slightly more like a military outpost, I think he's using it for the base, of almost like for a diorama for one of the Raging Hero characters, which is pretty cool. Because those Raging Heroes characters are incredibly dynamic. So I think they need something as awesome as that for a kind of base for it. So very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would also double down really nicely as a terrain piece as well. So it'd be good to see people including that in their games.
For sure. Okay, next up we have Mythic Battles Pantheon by Loner. Cool fact, the Mythic guys are in the studio right now.
They are filming something super awesome, which we can't talk
about it, but they have brought in their Joan of Arc stuff, and the minis in that are incredible, especially the size, the detail on them are amazing. Let's go down a little bit here. So these are the Beastmen from Mythic Battles Pantheons. It's nice to see as well that Mythic Battles is still getting the love it deserves on this. Even if Ben's are still up in the wardrobe behind him.
Yeah, I've painted two of the gods. All right, so
how many of them are there?
far too many.
Yeah. Going through all
There's an
the
entire Greek pantheon of gods.
going through all the details here as well if you want more information. But I love the paint scheme on these. It looks quite easy to replicate. It doesn't look too difficult, and it achieves it with really, really nice effects.
Yeah.
And he's doing like batch painting as well, so he's doing a really good job.
I really like the work on Hades. I think Hades looks amazing.
Hades, hold on, we haven't got to Hades yet, but I want
We're
to look
on
at
Cerberus
Cerberus.
at the minute, Ben. God, slow down.
Jesus.
I think Cerberus looks amazing.
Yep. Some sort of hellish glow from the mouth almost.
Not just like the mouth and the eyes, and
Let me put it this way: you would crap yourself if you seen that in a dark alley.
I'd crap myself if I saw that in a bright alley, John. I really like that. Like everything in it is like the black skin tone of it isn't as detailed as you could go, but it's not about the skin tone. It's about like that leather and these glowing eyes and stuff.
Yeah. The focus point really is the tail, the eyes, and the mouth.
Yeah.
It's the things that stand out the most, the things your eyes are first drawn to. And
Really
it's friggin'
nice work.
superb. Now
Okay.
we'll look at Hades.
Let's look at Hades now. What have you got to say, Ben, about Hades?
Nothing now.
Oh,
No, I think he looks awesome. I love the choice of the pale skin. It really works for his character. Sort of like being down there in the underworld. And then I think the sort of purple plays off against it really nicely as that deeper, richer colour. And those red glowing eyes are also very good indeed. And
Yeah.
props to Lorna for painting them as actual beings rather than the way that I cheated and just painted them as statues. So
Tut tut, Ben.
yeah.
See, I can only remember Hades from the Hercules.
Oh, the
Animated.
animated. Yeah.
Yeah.
The flaming blue hair.
Yeah. I think if I was to paint him, I'd paint him like that, just as a nice little reference and just a bit of fun. Next we have the hoplites, which I love the color scheme on these, the capes,
That
and
bright
contrasted with that like nice orange line on the shield. Really nice. I really like that.
It's very cool.
And he achieves quite a really nice paint right across the board here with these.
Let me see
This
the
is-
fiery bird.
You want to see the phoenix?
Yes.
That's cool.
How,
The
how, to,
poetic.
how to make something look incredibly too hot.
I would imagine fire would be quite difficult to paint.
It can be, yeah. Especially if the entire model has to look like it's on fire or
Yeah,
it's made of fire.
It's not something like I've had to paint.
Mm.
I was going to say I tried to paint, but it's not something I've even had to try to. But would you not start with like a little bit of blues or anything like that? Like at the base of the flame or
I mean,
at the
you
hottest point of the flame?
It depends. This is where science comes in. It
Yeah.
depends what you want your fire to be based on. Is it gas? Is it
Yeah,
material?
I guess.
Is it something else? Gas usually burns with a blue flame.
Okay.
You could. Oh, do you know what you could do? You could make a phoenix look like it was born out of a copper mine or something, and have it like blue and green.
That'd be kind of
That'd
cool.
be cool.
Like play with that whole elemental feel of it too.
I think it'd be really cool if like the phoenix, the actual body of the bird was normal colors, so like kind of the colors of a falcon or something, a peregrine falcon, just
Yep.
normal browns, whites, blacks, but just the tips of the wings like started to amber up. I think
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
that would be
That
I
would
interesting.
really
be
like
neat.
as well that the eyes are like pure white.
Mm.
White hot heat.
Yeah, I would even say like the mouth. I think the mouth would be kind of cool if it was like white the
Mhm.
inside as well. Yeah, we have
Very
some
cool though.
giant spiders.
I'm using those spiders for Rangers of Shadow Deep. So,
That purple glint off them is perfect for them, I think. And the nice green eyes.
Mm.
Really nice work, nice contrast between the green and the purple there.
yes.
Do you use them in Rangers of the Shadow Deep? Like how good are they to fight against, Ben?
Well, they're little tricky bastards. So they're in one of the scenarios where there's they have cocoons laying around the table,
Uh-huh.
and the spiders will try and wrap up your heroes and stuff. So they're little pesky ones.
Have you been wrapped up yet, Ben?
I have not been wrapped up because I have not tried that scenario yet. I've played the first one now, with just sort of like some slapdash stuff put on the table,
Uh-huh.
and it was good fun. But I need to actually get to work on my Rangers because at the moment I haven't really painted any of them. I've painted like half of one of the hunters, but yeah, I'm too obsessed at the moment, as you might have imagined, with painting badges and shit. So. Working on those at the moment.
I can't find the screen.
There it is.
You want to show it up again? Oh, that is really cool. I
That's
like
a-
him.
Very sophisticated looking badger.
You know what, Ben? I is my 30th and stag there last week,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
a few friends got me some things off my wish list. My fiance was very kind and like shared out my wish list to everyone. But they got my best friend got me Podkin One Ear by Kieran Larwood.
Okay.
And I think you'd really like it, Ben, because it's a kid's book. So, you know, you'll read through it in an hour, but I was sold on it that it's like The Hobbit and Game of Thrones with rabbits.
I have just looked it up immediately, and it looks amazing from the cover.
Yeah.
So.
So, I'm going off my honeymoon in 2 weeks' time. I think I'm going to take it with me, and I will let you know unless you've got it and read it in that time as well.
Oh my god, it was the best story Blue Peter book.
Yeah.
That means it's amazing.
Hell yeah. Okay.
It's book 1.
Okay.
Coming in 2020 from HBO.
Yeah. I can't wait for the animated series. Next up, we have something amazing from Soap Dodger here. Let me try and skim down the pages here so I don't spoil any of the recent stuff. But yes, around this mark, Soap Dodger is currently working on staircases, and we've seen some of the stuff he's been working on before, but he had this staircase and it's made out of MDF wood, and I think he's just like put a pole down the center and put them all up around it in a fan-like motion. But he needed this like staircase thing.
Banister wheel.
Yeah, and there was no easy way to recreate it, essentially.
Yeah.
So we went to the next best thing and decided to 3D print it. And I didn't think someone would go to the lengths of 3D printing a banister reel, but here I have been proved wrong.
Do you know what? The raw print looks like a roller coaster, which
It does.
makes me happy on a very childish level.
It does. This, because I think he wanted to. I think he maybe talked about trying out like rods and plastic and stuff, but it wouldn't get that perfect curve that he was looking for. So 3D printing was definitely the best option, and you'll see why in a second here. Because if I scroll up here, let me just. It's really difficult with the project system sometimes to like look at it properly, but. Here, this is the top of the banister here, or top of the staircase, and he's molded it into his own little terrain piece here, and it looks incredible.
It really does.
The amount of effort that's gone into this is remarkable, and I don't know if anyone else would like have the patience to work on it as much as he does. And whenever it looks painted as well, like we saw this here.
We've seen that a while ago.
Yeah, we saw this quite some time ago, but this is just an addition to it, and I don't know where he's going to go from here, because like I thought I was amazed by like these forklift hanger things, and now he's gone with this like staircase, which honestly I wouldn't have thought would be that much bother for looking at it, but looking at all the details that gone into this. I'm scared to what he does next. I have no idea what I can predict that he's going to work on next.
Well, whatever it is, if he puts even a fraction of the effort into it as that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing you got to do is you can't let Superman anywhere near this, because most of it's made out of kryptonite.
That's it.
Looking at the resin. So.
Every step is a slow descent.
Yeah. That's one way to beat your opponent.
Yeah.
Kryptonite banisters.
Fantastic project there from Soap Dodger, and I can't wait to see what next. It's a slow going project, and you can see why. Like there's a lot of effort gone into it, but every update he puts into it, it's just the next step. And oh my god,
it's superb. It goes back to something we posted about on Monday, because we had Nog in the Nog write a article for us.
Yeah.
About the pressure to be good, and like you could very easily get put off doing terrain by seeing something like this, but you got to remember that like Soap Dodger's had years and years of experience making this kind of thing, and it should be inviting you to take on the challenge rather than to be dismayed by it. So always take that into account, and there's always something you can learn from everybody.
Yeah. So this is the pressure to be good. So if anyone has read through it, it's quite an amazing read, and it's quite inspiring as well. Very nice work from Nog and the Nog, who wrote it there. Next up we have this Core Space box set that Tom D has been painting up. It looks fantastic so far, and after doing one of the Let's Plays, I'm kind of interested myself a little bit, just to see how it would play, because I think It plays very interestingly in such a small space. But here we have this the live one, which very cool looking.
Because it's one of the things that drew me to this one is because the guys at Battle Systems have created some really nice sculpts for aliens and androids and all kinds of things like that, like robots and stuff. And I think the painting on them looks fantastic here from Tom D.
I think,
especially when you start to see some of the robots further down.
I think, as you say, like they've made androids and robots look safe and scary.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
they're rounded to give that sort of I'm a friendly robot look, but that one glowing red eye or those two red eyes, that slightly skeletal form, tells you they're not friendly.
It's got that iRobot feel.
They do have
Yes.
iRobot.
Because iRobot, like they're all quite innocent looking, and then all it takes is just like a different LED.
Yeah. they have a bit of a sinister side to them.
Yeah.
Like our new 3D printer. Oof.
Have we talked about that yet?
I don't know.
I don't
But
think
I
we
just
have.
said we have a new one, so
Well, yeah, we have a new 3D printer, which hopefully we'll all get to talk about soon.
yeah, we will get to it. It's friggin' cool.
Wait, is this on top of the ones that were shown in the vlog yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, because we only showed the flatbed printers yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think. Yes, we did.
Yeah. This is one that's we could print another Sam from.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I don't have anything to do with it. We gotta wait until Warren comes in to talk about it.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll mention it on the XLBS at some point.
Yes. And speaking of Warren, we have this High Elf Army Resurrection. Have you worked on this, John? Like, have you been
No.
helping out or anything?
I have
with this?
been 100% hands off on this. I didn't even know he was doing this.
That's pretty impressive for Warren, I think. Like, Lloyd did give him a little bit of a hand, but I don't.
Lloyd helped him with picking basing materials and stuff like that, and then Warren just went for it. And hats off to you, Warren, man. These, I've said to him several times now, these look friggin' amazing. This is one way to revamp an old army, particularly one of our old Warhammer Fantasy mass
Yeah,
battle
because
armies.
they did look really dull on those
They
square
did,
bases. Every time I looked at them, it was like they just don't look that appealing. But now that they're on round bases, it's quite surprising how
What
cool they look now.
the term I used was reinvigorate.
Yeah,
You don't
Respe-
even you don't even need to touch the paint scheme on them because
Yeah.
that bright blue and white and silver and stuff just works.
even this, like, there's
Yeah.
no paint being touched on this, but it's still like just that base brightens it up so much.
Because that was one of the things that I noticed with this is that, like, even though the paint schemes are a lot older, and a little bit tired in places, I think the bases just made them pop, just amazingly. Very
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I especially like the stuff, just the standard infantry. I think that's worked really, really nicely, and it's a good example of how, like, a corkboard and that kind of thing can be used to kind of like push models that little bit further.
Yep.
Yeah.
Using that
It's,
as rocks and stuff.
it's
so-
interesting as well that Warren and Lloyd, they printed off specific bases that you put 2Ps inside
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
weigh them down as well. I thought that was pretty incredible.
Lloyd and his monetary basing.
That's it. Well, he's going to have to save up all the pennies now with the new laws coming in.
Every penny is a new model for him.
That's it, yeah. Penny saved is a penny.
A penny saved is
Miniature.
a penny saved is a swordsman on the field. There you go.
And next we have Maldrax's Hate. What is Daga? They want to see a Daga battle report for Age of. Oh, is this?
It was
this
a typo.
Yeah.
It was a good typo.
Of course, everyone jumps on it as well.
Well, you know what you need to do if you want to see a battle report? Basically, nag Jerry and Lloyd consistently until one
Yeah.
of them gives up and forces the other to actually play the game on camera.
Yeah.
So.
One of them is in the chat, so start harassing.
Let's go.
So
I don't want to command an army, but if that's what you want.
Yeah. What is this?
This is Hate, John. This is I don't know really how to describe this board game, but
Horror?
it's yeah, think of like,
bloodthirsty
I think it's like
18 plus game.
I think it's kind of like Kingdom Death, but less booby.
Yes.
Like
Less full frontal.
more
nudity.
horror,
Okay.
less less beauty.
It's the game that was based on Adrian Smith's artwork for his graphic novel, where you play as horrible, nasty, twisted tribes beating the crap out of each other to claim land and stuff. And this is one of the tribes I think that was part of the Kickstarter. I think, I believe, yeah, which is the Sarasa tribe, which looks very, very cool indeed.
They're very. It's a very unique sculpt. I gotta give them that. Like, it does look as if they've just been like yanked out of the wastelands.
It looks like they've been yanked out of a tree.
Yeah, just a bog ditch.
Yeah.
But even so, like some of the metalwork and the details in this are really nice, and I love the like green glowing eyes.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Because green glowing eyes means one of two things: druidic power or necromancy. And it's probably both in this case.
I love this guy. Like his zero face. Although you can get, there's kind of like a face in there. There's like it's almost like Edward Munch's scream. Like, ah!
Oh god, all I have in my head now is that friggin' scene from, what was it, the Banshee you showed me yesterday?
Yeah.
Just this guy running up the side of a cliff, yelling at what he sees.
Katie!
Banshee! Katie!
It was from Darby O'Gill, the Little People. If you've seen it, Ben.
I have not seen.
Oh, it's such a treat. It's a Disney treat for all ages.
Defeats a ghost by throwing a lantern at him.
Yeah, that's how you defeat ghosts in Ireland.
Yeah.
If only it was so easy.
You throw lanterns at them. I don't know how you defeat them in England, but
This
in
movie
Ireland,
comes from the era of movie making when, to represent a lantern glowing, they just had a dude on an orange spotlight point it at the lantern as the
They
guy
didn't even
was
light-
walking past.
they
And it
didn't even
line
light the
up half
lantern.
time.
Instead of just lighting the lantern, they just pointed a light at it.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like in the old school movies when someone lights a candle and the entire room's lit up with halogen lamps all of a sudden.
that still happens.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that these are so gruesome looking. I feel like the bases are a little bit too bright for what they are, but then again, they could be wandering through a beautiful forest.
My opinion on the basing would be make it a bit more swampy looking.
Mm.
But then you risk the model blending into the base, but maybe that isn't such a bad thing either.
I think there's a lot like this here. All the eye goes towards this. I want to say brain, but it looks kind of like a turkey.
It looks like a head crab crossed
It
with
does.
crossed with an uncooked turkey, crossed with the brain bug from Starship Troopers, all in one neat little package.
Wow, there we go. That's it.
That is.
I imagine that's what the guys asked up for in the sculptors.
Can you imagine if that was
Like, here's the
sculptor's
brief.
breach? Just 3 images. Just those 3 images make something that looks like
Yeah.
that.
And then we have all the details and how you painted them all as well. So that's really nice tutorial work there.
Superb work.
So next we have some time left. We're going to have a wee look through the spring cleaning. If anyone wants their projects shown off, feel free to post it in the comments on Twitch, or feel free to go across to OnTableTop.com and share it in the Hobby Hangout page.
I have a question.
What is your question?
I have no idea what the spring cleaning challenge is.
While I have a look here, Ben, do you have much knowledge in spring cleaning still?
Yes, I do. Yes. So, the Spring Cleaning Challenge is a challenge that is running until May, and it's all about taking old miniatures, be they armies, heroes, characters, terrain pieces, all kinds of things like that, and giving them a new lease of life. So, as we can see, if you look at the Hobby Challenge thing in a bit, where a lot of people are taking a lot of their old armies, be they old Space Marines or Dwarves, things like that, and bringing them back to the tabletop and doing something new with them. Looking at those old schemes that you enjoyed at the time, but you know now need an update to fit with the modern styles and that kind of thing. So it's all about taking something old, making it new. The categories are the same that we've had for previous competitions, for previous challenges. So you've got best style, best idea, and best tutorial, and that will be decided based on votes given to each of the different projects by you guys in the community and our own personal votes as well. And also there is best junior as well, so there's a prize for somebody under 16 if they have something as well, which is cool. The prizes themselves are vouchers for the OnTableTop Pro Store, so good stuff there. And Warren has even pledged to send stuff out to people who are far flung away in distant corners of the world, himself personally, with a kiss. So
Are we going to have to get lipstick for him to do that?
yes, you are.
Oh no.
Bright blue lipstick.
Joe, now you've explained it to me, I was like, damn it, I stripped the paint off something I painted 9 years ago just last week. And I don't think I have a picture of it beforehand.
Blast, John.
And that's one of the key things with this actually. It's really good if we can see what it looked like previously and now what it looks like afterward, because that shows a good progression between the beginning and the end. So it's not just about showing off something that you say you've painted, whatever. It's good to see like that progression and what you've done to change it. Like for example, in Warren's project, he was taking all the bases off those high elves and showing the process of turning those into a new army and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all good.
Cool. So here's a good example: spring cleaning the Mumak. Can't remember how to pronounce
What?
these.
Umak.
What an awful plastic kit.
So this is from Harry Brains. He's had these for quite a number of years. I think he said that there's even dust falling on them. So there's quite a bit here, but they're all primed up and ready to go. We even have a little bit of a test paint as well. So it's interesting. Like, that's quite a big base. I didn't realize it had such a big base than that.
Yeah.
But with some test scheme here, I think it's going to look pretty good. I think a little bit of like shading and highlighting would make that really pop, and be interesting to see how it looks on the tabletop on top of that giant Mumak. So yeah, I think this is what the interesting part of this challenge is, and a lot of people are getting behind it as well. It seems like this is one of our more compelling challenges.
Compelling and gripping.
Yeah. So here we have some before pictures of the little dwarves, all in square bases as well, and I think on base to wind up Warzone. Oh yeah, for this one here.
Justin standard.
So I wonder if Warren and other people will take on the challenge as well of like rebasing their minis from these square bases to the round ones. But I actually really like these little models. I love the siege equipment.
They're so well painted already.
Yeah. I think the challenge here will be if anyone can, spring clean, essentially make it a little bit more modern paint scheme. So maybe go into those details that they've maybe missed before, and make them a little bit more interesting to look at in 2019, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting to see like all these old models coming out that like I've never seen before.
Yep.
And
Yeah, these are nice classic old metal dwarves. These ones.
Mhm.
That's what makes up pretty much most of my army. It's in a bag just over there. So.
Jerry's getting angry as well. Stop taking things off square bases. See, I think I have the issue with square bases is that whenever you line them up on the tabletop, you probably line them in a grid just by looking at it. Whereas if you have them in round bases, you don't get scared of like placing them anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I think if you have them on square bases, then your CD kicks in and you're like, oh no, that has to be aligned.
But remember in Warhammer Fantasy, that's how they were blocks of troop.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they did have to line up in big squares and stuff. I see your point now. There'd be no point in square basing stuff for a skirmish game because square bases are useless for putting a lot of basing material on. In my opinion, Jerry, don't kill me.
Jerry's getting angry on the internet.
Yes.
Next we have Laughing Boys Age of Sigmar army as well, so he's going and updating these cool looking elves. Let's see if we see any before pictures here. So he's going in and rebasing them, some of them as well, using the 3D printer to get exactly what he needs. Some of the old photos here. Pictures took a couple of years ago, so the quality. Also not painted a miniature before. Painting this large of an army by not painting a mini before is pretty impressive. And like apart from the bases, I think he did a pretty good paint job on those like 2 years ago. Let's see one of these dragons here. I think that's not bad for your first paint job, I guess. What do you think, John?
Pretty good.
No, not bad at all.
But let's have a little look to see any of the updated stuff. So updating them to the
Look
more rounder bases.
how far he's come on that.
Yeah,
That's so good.
that's very
That's
cool.
So good. That winter basing on high elves works really well.
It's very cool. Again, it's a really interesting thing seeing just how basing materials
Yeah.
help make a army look a lot better.
Oh yeah, for sure. That looks
It's like-
incredible.
It's like when you look back at some of the stuff from back in the day for Games Workshop where it was with the goblin green base rims
Yep.
and the flock was just crumbled, whatever it was, with
Yep.
painted green or something, whatever. And then if you took that model, it was painted very well in that old style, and then put it on a really new looking base, suddenly, regardless of the fact that the paint job might be old, I think the miniature just looks better.
Yep.
I think it's
I think Laughing Boy has went in. I didn't read there to see if he'd updated the paint schemes, but I think he definitely has.
I think he's
Considering-
tidied them up a bit.
Yeah, because looking at that dragon, that looks so much more clean.
He's like he's put another layer of paint over what was
Yeah.
already there by the looks of it in some
It
places.
looks like he's used a couple of like new methods as well that he's been learning. But yeah, I can't say anything more than what you guys have said. Like the basing, the snow basing. I'm not a big fan of snow basing, but it really suits these high elves.
It makes them look super duper clean or crisp in a way.
I would imagine they look camouflaged as well. With the white robes and stuff. That looks cool.
Those lines.
That looks really cool.
Very nice work.
Yeah. It's so cool looking. And then up close and personal as well. Is there a before and after this here? I think it's fairly difficult to pick between them. 2015 one from today.
So he's painted one from scratch and then what, touched up on the other one?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't care. They are equally good.
Yeah.
He's quite right. It is actually kind of hard to figure out which one he might have painted a while ago.
Like, I can tell like there's some differences that like there's
The
a little
one-
bit more shade here,
Yeah,
but then
the-
again there's a little bit more shade here.
The one on the left, I would maybe say is the one he painted.
Recently.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Unless he actually just says this is the one. I'm not sure.
Spot the difference.
Yeah. No one knows.
You're gonna have to tell us.
Oh well, okay. Fantastic work there. That was a really cool project. Next we have this 22 years in the making by Sundancer. He has his
His
first...
project titles are great for a start.
This is the very first Ultramarine, I think it was. He got a brand new 1993 Space Marine sprue from a friend at a local club. He decided to paint it up. So not only is he going in with a spring clean, he is just starting from scratch completely again. So these were his first miniatures, I believe.
Hey, his brushwork was pretty tidy
Yeah,
from way back in the day.
I think so. Anyway, I'm not too sure. First White Dwarf, 1997, and then he's 22 at the time. Glued them together and painted them up. Yeah, they do look pretty good. It's very nice. But yeah, as I said, brand new sprue from 1993. I'm sure a lot of people are probably thinking like, oh, you opened up that sprue from 1993.
It was brand new in the box.
So copying all the paint schemes from there, even just the pre-shading, I think, is already a big step.
Do you know, I recently watched a video on YouTube by a channel called Snipe and Wib, if you've ever heard of them, Ben.
No.
Oh, man, they do a lot of interesting 40k and Games Workshop related stuff, and they recently put out a video where they catalogued the entire Space Marine range, like every change in the models right up to the Primaris.
Oh, cool.
And they had the original LE2, the limited edition first one, which had the gun that looked like something out of Aliens. And they started buying like the old classic ones and bringing them in and giving them a modern paint scheme and putting them next to the next one up and talking about the kits and stuff. And even though I hadn't grown up in that period interested in it, I was looking at it going, God, I really want an LE2 now. I really want to play with some of the classic Marine models and paint them.
I gotta say, just the detail on this
Mm.
is incredible. And oh god, I can't tell which is which now. So this is the new one here on the right hand side, and this is the one from 1997. It's surprising as well, like the amount of detail that he's achieved with
From a relatively basic sculpt.
Yeah, exactly. Like the detail on the gun, even just changing it up and like having the blacks down here, and there's a lot more shading. I have a question though: was this meant to be gold?
No, original Ultramarines were that.
They had yellow rims.
Yeah.
Really? It seems
like-
kind of odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah.
But originally, like, they did look like someone had just sculpted them out of Play-Doh. Even when they were painted, they still looked like they had literally taken coloured Play-Doh and made the model.
Incredible paint job in this here. It's nice, and I hope you had fun, Sundancer, as well. Like working along in this. It shows how much like attention to detail you're paying to all these little pieces now. Very, very nice.
Jerry is right, by the way, because I think some
Company
I believe-
colours.
Yeah, I remember seeing some Ultramarines that had red rims around the shoulder pads and stuff,
Yeah.
rather than yellow. So there you go. Yellow is fourth company. Robert Swinney says.
Cool.
Although screw that, just make them all gold. It looks a lot better. Paint their knee pad yellow or red or something instead.
We have a few more. Let's see if maybe Dan has changed up his. We need to go to the Stomper. Okay, John, I'm going to make you look at the Stomper first because this is incredible. Last week we looked at this. Let's go to the very end. You can actually join us in this adventure. So it's a Stomper made from a Mr. Potato Head.
That is
Yep.
genius.
So that's it. Going through all the details, and he's even like put beads on to be like
the
rivets.
and stuff. That is so cool.
I assume because it's definitely a Mr. Potato Head, and then
Yeah.
I assume like these legs are just made from some random toy that maybe walked or something. But it's impressive nonetheless. Like the amount of ingenuity that's gone into this weird looking thing. Like even a permanent marker for the exhaust, like that's amazing.
That is absolutely genius. That really is genius. That's mine. That's
Yeah. And it, like whenever he starts painting it as well, like we'll see it here primed.
I
pretty
want
soon
him to
here.
do one thing though when he goes to paint it. I want him to leave the Shiba logo on the head.
I don't think he does.
Because there's something just so perfect about seeing that.
I love the Adidas boots.
Yes.
So this is it in like its completion of build anyway. And it does look like a Stomper. Like it's no longer a potato head. It's a potato head with spikes. getting it
Oh, wow.
primed up now, hopefully. But yeah.
Any,
This is
any
a
big mech would be very happy with that.
That is just sheer brilliance.
So here it is
Oh, look
primed
at it.
up.
Primed, oh my god.
It no longer looks like a Mr. Potato Head. It actually looks like a Stompa. It reminds me, if you've ever seen the film Robots,
Yeah.
there's like a big mama robot in that. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Horrible film, not bad CGI.
What? I thought it was a great film.
Oh,
I loved it. But like getting to work on this and the paint scheme, incredible. I love that he left this like a little top hat, almost. It's so cool looking. What are your thoughts on this, John? What's your final thoughts?
this is incredible. It's so ingenious. Everything about that project makes me smile because as soon as you say Mr. Potato Head, you can see the shape a little bit and it makes you laugh, and then you appreciate everything else. It's so good.
And imagine once you get this on the tabletop, someone's going to look at this and be like, "What was that before? Like,
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?"
I would imagine he'd even get a pass at like a GW tournament because we all know it's a Stompa, and I think they would just look at it and just appreciate it for from where it came from.
I love this glow in the eye.
Yes.
Like the fact that it's got a track bullseye in it.
That, as Dave says in the chat there, what's with the phallic gunport?
I pointed this at Lloyd the other day and he laughed.
Yeah, to
as
be
well.
fair, a lot of orc big mechy robot stuff has a gun there, so
I
it's
mean,
kind of a thing.
I guess
Belly gun Bruce. Oh yeah, all stuff like that.
See, here we have Dan's project. Let me see. No, there's no
I
updates, but
love all the red arrows.
yeah. So this he was asking for comments on what he should work on, and I opted for the core space because it's like right there on the tabletop.
Yeah.
Ben, I think he was talking about Space Crusade because it's such an old box. It'd be great to see like anything else. But is there anything out of this, John, that maybe you would like to see? We came to a conclusion that turtles could mean anything.
It could, yeah.
Not really sure what turtles is. It could be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or just terrapins in a tank. Not really sure.
I am going to take the typical line and say Warhammer World exclusive tanks.
Okay.
Or Space Crusade, because I'm having a bit of a retro feel at the minute.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of that old school stuff brought into like,
Hey.
modern, as Ben keeps saying, modern paint schemes and styles.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So that's 2 votes for Space Crusade,
Yes.
1 for Core Space, and a half for Turtles because of the vagueness of it. Where I'm so confused.
Anybody has any like LE2 Space Marines, please let me know. I will be willing.
So here we have Abaddon the what was it, the smaller or something. Abaddon the bit smaller. Okay. So here's the size difference. So he had this old model as well, and he decided to paint it up with a bit more newer paint schemes. So here we have
See,
it's
the
pretty
old
a bit finished.
the old Abaddon was okay.
How much Abaddon has changed? Poor 20-year-old paint job, fairly generic static pose, tiny base that has no character and just barely keep the Chaos Lord standing. Very true. And then here's the updated version of it.
Yeah, so that was the first edition.
So this is the first, yeah,
the one below it's the second,
and then this is the second. This is the more
Yeah.
updated version.
which wasn't bad looking either.
But you can see there's a lot more like attention to detail in this.
Yep, he's a lot more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But who cares about that one now? It's all about the new one.
So you just want to see more of this big
Oh,
guy.
look at that thing.
But yeah, really nice work on this. I love the sword.
Mm-hmm.
I love as you said, the base work on this was a little bit plain. It was too small. That was incredibly small for that thing. But yeah, that works in really nicely. I love the little details as well in the back.
Mm.
Very, very cool. And really nice image work as well. Who's that by? That was by Mike Grathian, yes.
He's in the chat.
Yeah,
He's correcting
I
us
see.
on all our mistakes.
The first edition one made it look like
Yep.
I think you've done a pretty good job to make it look like the new one.
it's
He-
really cool, sort of
yeah.
copying that
It's
style.
a nice,
and the pose,
yeah, pretty good comparison. Very cool.
And again, extra effort going into the base to make it look a little bit more epic as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome work there by McGrath the Apprentice. Next we have Faux Hammer.
I don't
888.
like how Faux Hammer's top image was just fire.
Fire, yeah, it was a little bit confusing at the start. So this is for Saga, but I think it's a lot of stuff for dwarves.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy this, John, because he's been taking. Let's go down to the very bottom here. So he took in the Shadespire dwarves, I
Yep.
think, or these might just be generic ones from. Yeah, they are the Shadespire ones. He didn't like the pale skin tones on these.
Mm.
He said I'd paint them in a more darker skin tone with these like beautiful embossed like gold details as well, and I think they look incredible. It took me longer than I'd like to admit to figure out what this thing was here, because I was looking at this and I was like, how the hell does this thing work? And then until I saw this image, I was like, that's amazing. I love the fact that it just like flings axes automatically.
It's one of the things from the old Slayer army they did during Storm of Chaos back in Warhammer Fantasy. It was for the Slayer army. It's very cool.
So have these second half McCalvary idea. Dwarf shields build action bases on plastic hard rivets. And then with these things, so here's the dwarfs finished up. I think they look pretty cool. Like it's a really nice contrast with that bright fire slayer.
The darker
beard.
skin tone almost makes it look like they're wearing a bodysuit, and
Kind of.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Raving at the disco.
Yeah.
Yeah. These cool. I don't know what these are ever called, but I know he has them painted up here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, those are so pretty. I don't know what they
Fiery
are. They're
demons.
so pretty.
They're the magma creatures from Shadows of Brimstone.
I like what he's done here. Is like he's given them like blue eyes.
Yeah, quite a
'Cause,
realistic looking eye, or an animalistic eye.
Yeah, because like you would almost assume. I think I would instinctively paint them red eyes.
Yeah, or like a glow, just an angry orangey glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's these little like cavalry troops.
That's
So
so
that
good.
looks cool. And this is
They
all
remind
for
me-
Saga.
They remind me of the. Is it the Dwemer from
Yeah, from Skyrim.
Skyrim and stuff, yeah. The Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, if
kind of mechanical
this
bits.
blue was painted in brown, yeah, it's definitely the Dwemer. That really cool dwarf cavalry. Does that mean then the dwarves just sit on top of these?
I would guess so.
Guess so. They are the mounts of the Fire Slaves, so they're just going to be put on top of them, which is cool.
Yeah. Okay, I think you might like this one, John, as well, because this is a cool little idea. This is a. If I scroll down, you'll see this is an inspiration from this little it's a book. It's a bookcase placeholder kind of thing.
Oh wow.
So you could use this in the ends of your bookends,
Yeah.
or just really cool. It would actually be a really good genre, if you're big into your books or even movies, you wanted to separate them by genre. I think this would be a really cool thing, because this is there's a cool little street town, but he's going in and creating something that's I think a little bit sci-fi.
Well,
Here.
the project's called what? Cyberpunk?
Yeah. Which is ironic because we've got 47 Ronin and Bushido. But yeah, it should be interesting to see. So these are 3D kind of sculpt of what he's looking to achieve, and I think what you do at the back here is it's a straight box, but you put a mirror in at an angle so it looks like it's going around
Yeah.
the corner.
So cool.
And here we have little Bushido characters, I think. Maybe they're not. Hassle-free miniatures.
They are from Hassle Free, Kabuki, and somewhere else.
Hmm.
So
So I'm really excited to see how this comes up because
Yeah.
I've got some bookshelves in the house as well, and I'd love to. That'd be a really cool little idea, just to bring a little bit of life to your bookshelf rather than all covered in books and stuff. Really, really nice. Next we have Miniatures Rescue with Maldrak, and this is going to be the last one until this community spotlight. But here we have, he's even done these in days, so if we go down to day one. So these are the very first minis. A lifetime ago, converted them for Warhammer 40k. They're called Chaos Warrior or something or other. They were sculpted by Chaz Elliott, released by Heartbreaker Hobbies in the mid-1990s. A lot of information there, known about these. Like, I couldn't tell you anything about models I have at home. But clipping them off, these bases, making new ones, giving them some new swords, it looks like. Printed 32 mil. A lot of people are 3D printing bases now.
Yeah.
why don't I have a 3D printer in my house that I can
Yeah.
print bases? Well,
Because
where-
you're
where-
too busy buying miniatures instead of going, hey, a 3D printer would be nice this month.
So,
Oh yeah, maybe that. Yeah.
adding some more weaponry. The bases look very nice on those. Ah, crap.
What have you done?
Nothing. I thought it opened a new tab only for that image. Rebuilt half the sword, the rightmost guy yesterday and carved a bit today. Apart from that, I covered the armor and weapons in a scale color black metal.
Already,
Yeah.
that's an incredible difference.
It is a nice improvement. Very, very cool. And day 3, is this day 4? Let's see. Oh yeah, you're getting a bit of rust on the armor now as well. I don't know why these images are linking through in such an
Because they're
odd way.
linked through to the WordPress his blog.
Okay, I see. But yeah, I love the metal or the rust work here so far. Looking forward to seeing what comes of it even more. Very, very nice work.
Mm.
Okay, so while I log into the website, next week I don't know if there's going to be a hobby hangout because next week I'm going to be full on. It is endgame for me, and not in the
What?
Marvel
No,
universe.
whoa.
It is endgame for me for final days counting up to my wedding. So
Yep.
exciting times are afoot.
You can only be a bachelor so long.
Yes, so I am going to be off for the next 2 weeks. So I don't know, and I don't care what goes on here.
I'll maybe drag Justin into it.
Yeah,
I need
am
someone-
I'm not here next week either because I'm flying over there.
yeah.
So,
So
Ah.
Ben's coming over to my house, and if anyone even thinks about suggesting hobby hangout during my wedding phase, I will.
Click your fingers.
Yes,
Okay.
I will evaporate everyone if I need to.
so it might just be you and Justin, John. So.
Yeah. I think Justin and I should just like put on a live stream where we're just making something, or just stick a camera onto the 3D printers and be like, "Here, watch this for an hour."
Yeah,
People do that in studios
Yeah.
for other things. So
Yeah.
yeah. Might not be as exciting. I don't know. Maybe it might be the most viewed stream we've ever done.
if you sit a cat in there at the same time, it'll get even more.
Yeah, 3D print a cat. There we go.
What we could do actually, because Justin and I are starting a new cosplay project. Can
We
maybe
could talk about that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do something about that. Discuss little bits and bobs. If anyone even cares in the miniature wargaming world about Justin and I making Imperial Guard cosplay.
I think you're
I- I-
currently busy with a project, but I don't know. I can't. I would imagine that Warren might ask you to just do painting a stream.
You never know.
So, but anyway, lastly, we have the community spotlight for this week, and first up we have Wolfsch, the Blood Red Skies Germans.
Ooh.
Very nice paint job on these. Very cute
So
little
this is a
planes.
set of planes for Blood Red Skies. More specifically, this is 5th Stalfen ZG26, whatever. I don't know. It's in the post, all right?
do you want me to try and read it?
Yeah, do that. Yeah,
Where are we at here? Warlords.
it's in the third
Uh,
paragraph.
ZG26.
Fifth Staffel. Fifth Staffel and ZG26.
There you go. Yeah. And this is here the paint job on these amazing looking planes.
The Messerschmitt
I thought
ME110.
I think these look absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
I loved the camo work on the top and how that fades in through to the sort of the other style of camouflage, I suppose.
The dappling.
Yeah, for the underside of the planes. All the transfer work has come off really nicely as well. It looks like it's part of the scheme, not
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 just
just
a
stuck
sticker.
on.
Yeah.
The work on the cockpits and everything like that is amazing as well. So yeah, some really fantastic looking planes, Blood Red Skies there from Wolf Chip.
Chich.
Yeah.
Next we have Panzer Kaput, Mortal Gods. I really like these as well. Thought they were very, very vibrant along the table here. Very cool paint schemes, all very uniquely different as well.
So this is a set of models he's painted up to work as almost generic Greeks, so they could be from any state, because you've got Spartans and Athenians in the game, but he wanted to make it so that he could use them for pretty much anything. So that's why you've got that really nice sort of mishmash of different styles of shield and armor, all that kind of thing. But he is going to be working on Spartans, I believe, soon. But I really like these because I liked the way the clothing had come out and the way the shields had come out as well.
Yeah.
I thought the clothing really worked very nicely and it's very poppy. The basing is also very Mediterranean, which obviously fits with the setting very nicely. And the work on those shields of those transfers is very cool as well.
Yeah.
It's a very nice looking little force.
Very cool. And lastly, we have Melee 68, Burrows and Badgers range. Why am I not surprised?
I believe that may have even actually be a typo. I think it should be Mellet. I think I need to put two T's in there. This is some work by him on some fantastic Burrows and Barrows miniatures. I picked these ones out specifically. I believe he's actually quite a relatively new user to the site anyway. But I picked out the Wildcat because I thought that Wildcat colour scheme had been done really well to just sort of match the style of them in the wild. I really like the patterning work there. And
I love his little cheeks.
I love the cheeks as well, and the giving that sort of darker fur tones giving away to that bright cloak as well.
Nice little like tabby cat.
It does look tabby. Yeah.
And then we have the little squirrel as well.
Yeah, and the squirrel there again, really nice poppy colour scheme. A couple of little mistakes here and there with the painting and stuff, but other than that, I think that looks absolutely. Like you can see a little bit of yellow on the tail, for
Just
example.
on the tail.
But not a major problem. The yellow is painted beautifully.
That's the thing that really sold this one for me. I think the yellow really pops. And while I imagine the basing material and all that kind of thing isn't completely finished for this one, because it needs the wonderful undergrowth and everything for it, I thought it was a really nice sort of little work in progress piece there. Just showing off some more of the work that's been done. And showing, and as most people would say, have said in that project already, they're just so easy to paint. They're just
I am curious though, is that a Fireman Sam truck in the background? I think it is.
Maybe, John. Maybe.
I got a little nostalgia hit there.
As always with the communities projects, you click this banner and it'll take you through to all the old teal images as well, and see big gallery of past winners and get some inspiration. It's kind of like a Pinterest board of past winners. Pretty incredible stuff there. So if you want to come across OnTableTop.com to Community Spotlight, we've got a lot going on there. We have surpassed 50 weeks of Community Spot or Hobby Hangouts. I know this because, and maybe we passed an actual year, but I know that for a fact because we have 50 videos on the YouTube playlist. So next week would probably be our anniversary, or well, one of these weeks will be our anniversary of the Hobby Hangout, but I'm going to be away for the wedding, so you guys can celebrate it all by yourselves. Wouldn't that be lovely, Joe?
Okay.
Have a cupcake with a candle in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much everyone for joining in this week. Come across the OnTableTop.com. We've a whole pile of news. I think we have a weekender this week. Any other cool things? We do have an actual a Backstager deal going on. So if you get if you're a Backstager, you can save 25% on the OnTableTop store. That was a mouthful there. I couldn't process it in my mind's eye. But yeah, 25% off to Backstage if you want to buy some stuff for 40k in Age of Sigmar on our store. Pretty cool deal. But other than that, I won't see you next week. I'm getting married next week. Am I
I'm
going
on
to do a
holiday.
wedding vlog? I won't have time to do a wedding vlog. However, the guys are all invited in the office. I would imagine Warren will probably grab me away with a camera or a phone, something, and I'll tell him to piss off. Who knows what'll happen? But yeah, we'll maybe get a wedding vlog. Who knows? It's up
Hey,
to those guys.
If it was anything like Warren's wedding, I remember being invited as a guest and ending up standing behind a tripod for 6 hours.
Yeah, they reeled us into videographers.
Yep.
But yeah, bye everyone.
See ya at some point.
Bye Ben.
Bye.